Okay, well, thank you everyone for taking the time to attend this webinar. I'd like to start with a brief introduction for those who are new to GovReports about who we are, why we do what we do. GovReport is the complete SDR lodgement portal for business, BAS and tax agents to securely prepare and submit compliance reports to the respective government agency, including the tax office for all the tax returns related, business compliance reporting forms, payroll tax to all the state and territory revenue offices, and ASIC financial reports to ASIC for listed companies at the moment. Why we started from the early days, we hear taxpayers and tax practitioners issues in meeting compliance. Not only technology available was not reliable at the time, the process was difficult to follow. We learned that they were in desperate need for more efficient, cost-effective and more streamlined system to manage their business and personal affairs from the simplest to the most complicated arrangements. So we developed and released GovReports with an aim to provide secure, flexible data management services with local, privately hosted cloud applications. We integrate and map data source to make your workflow process easier. It is a direct and end-to-end service available at your fingertips online. Features like the auto pre-filling from the ATO, for example, with the activity statements, the pre-filling of document ID, PAYG, installment amounts, and for tax returns, for tax agents, the semi-pre-fillings from ATO for tax returns. And of course, software. And going forward with the new features, and gradually we will release a full pre-fill for tax agents for tax returns. At this stage, it's semi-pre-filling with software, and of course, not only that, it's also pre-filling from software if your clients or yourself are using online software or cloud-based software. Desktop software, you can upload the data, the backup file, and into GovReports and get the pre-filling from there as well. Otherwise, there's also a manual process that you can do data entry for those clients that do not use software. Of course, electronic record keeping is another benefit as well. It's easier for you to sort your clients' reports and also to directly search for that client's reports if you need. There is an audit, there is an urgent need for you to get access to it as well. Instant validations of lodgements and receipts is another benefit, which means that in many cases we have seen in the past our clients, you've lodged and then after 6 months or so the tax office turned around and said, well, they never got the tax returns or the lodgement, the BAS lodgement. And in those cases we just basically ask our clients to simply send the lodgement receipt and confirm that it has been sent. And it was sent, it was lodged through GovReports, and this is a lodgement receipt. ATO just needs to simply go straight to their database or their systems, and basically direct that time in order to get back that report without you having to relodge, and of course avoiding the fine and trying to basically verify that you have done the submission. Lodgement is in real time. So what it means is that if as a BAS agent you lodge a PAYG payment summaries for your clients right now, it takes about a few minutes, and then the tax agents can then do the tax return for that individual taxpayers. In many cases, of course, once after you've done the lodgement, it's also updated onto the ATO portal if you get access to it as well. Optional authentication process. Currently with GovReports, you can use the emailing once the lodgement is made, or once you have drafted the report, you can send that to your client for authorization through emails. We do have optional authentication tools, which is a digital signature for those that want to use that extra bit of automations, and basically a lot cleaner process in terms of organizing your documents and having a copy of signed documents in the one software. So it is optional for those that want to use it. Of course, the save and resume options is another benefit, which unlike, you can work at your own pace without having to, worry about, well, this is halfway, or, having to answer the phone during the process that you're working on a particular client or something along that line. There are a lot more features, including the amend and revise lodge capabilities. Whether it doesn't matter which way you lodge your clients have lodged reports, or whether it's through the ATO portal or through another software, you can also come to GovReports to do the amendment. It's pretty straightforward from there, and that's available for all the forms within GovReports. Of course, you can also have, if you do have more than one staff member within your business or your practice, you can also have, additional staff onto your account, and I'll allocate work to them accordingly, depending on the role and which clients you want to get access to a lot more in details. I know this is familiar look for many of you. Why we change? Look, it's just like for many of you, this is the familiarity. You love it. I mean, it's like anything. I hate change. I got used to certain things. I don't like to change. But over time, we have got a lot of your feedback and suggestions, and it was difficult for us to implement those changes unless we also change our system. So with the new versions of GovReports, we introduced many services into it, including the customizable dashboard. You not only, in the past, not only you can customize your solutions or your services with us, depending on your business structure and your client base. Now you can customize your dashboard. The services is intuitive. The application is a lot more flexible and a lot more space for you in terms of when we add more services, it's basically there. Regardless of whether you want the service or not, you can customize to your own requirements. You can make it as simple as you want, or make it, basically have more services to your needs. I believe it is better workflow and a lot easier accessibility with more security options onto that as well. So this is a new look, but without, let me now go through the live demo. And of course, if you have questions, you can just send me a chat message, and then I'll respond to that. Now, this is before we go into the testing. This is a testing account, so all the clients, the ABN, tax file number are not real. Even though it is a testing account, it is also interacting with the ATO. But just bear in mind that those details that I am exposing it to you are not real clients or so let's not take in this. This is a new dashboard. So on the left-hand side, you got the menu. This menu, besides the bird's view, which means home. My clients, my users, my lodgement, the functionalities. Basically the functionalities that you can get access to are exactly in the same or the old versions of GovReports. With my clients, you can add new clients. One at a time, or upload the client list from other software or from the ATO portal. My users, you can go in and manage your users, whether you want to add new users, more staff members onto GovReports, and manage their account accordingly. So that's my users, and of course my lodgement. All the functionalities that you have in my lodgement in the previous options are now also in the my lodgement options. I'll go through in each one by one later on, but for now let me walk you through the dashboard, so that a lot of functionalities, a lot of new features we have added to this dashboard. On the top, on every screen or page of this new UI, you would see that the search options on the top. Here, you basically, it's for those agents or those of you that work at your client site. When you arrive at your client site, you log in. This is your dashboard. You can just simply type in the name of the client that you want to work on, and search for that, and it will take you directly to that client, so that you don't need to show the list of all your clients, and rather just work on that client. For this particular client, because I've got a few branches and a few. So it lists out all the clients with that name up, and then I can select the one that I want to work on. So now I will not go through the process now. For now, let me just, like I said, I want to walk through basically all the features from the dashboard, and then we go back to a specific client and the lodgement process, so that it show you the workflow. That's the search bar, and that will be available on every page, whether you're in the Save Reports or you're in the My Lodgements. On every single screen, you would have that search option. That's the search options. Then you got here you got the due dates, basically the upcoming due dates, because this is not a real account, so the due dates are not coming through. But in your production account, you would have basically, if the IAS is due in what's the day? Tomorrow or the next day, on Friday, that will basically show up on, this is the due date. And of course, the outstanding reports, the outstanding reports, if you've got outstanding report features on your account, that will show up on what's coming, what's the overview of all your outstanding reports, and of course the upcoming next 5 or overdue reports. And of course, if you've got anything in there, because this is not a real account, if you've got anything in there like this one, if you click prepare, it's an activity statement. So if you click prepare, that would take you straight to the form, and for that particular period, and you can then prepare the activity statements and lodge directly from there. But if you do no longer work for this, work on this client, or whatever, you can delete that report or go back to the settings and reset that, so that should not come up. The save reports, of course, this will on the dashboard. If you click save reports from here, that basically gives you access to the list of all your saved reports, whether it's in valid status or draft status, or if you have got digital signature and if it is pending for signature from your clients, it will basically list everything as a save reports and not unlodged reports from there. And the lodged reports, basically all your lodged reports, this is, like I said, this is a testing account, so I only got 19 lodgements, but for a lot of you, we will have hundreds or even thousands of lodgements. And if you click on lodge reports, that means you get access to this, and once you got access to it, you can go to the search bar and search for that particular client that you want to lodge, that you want to get access to that lodge report or save reports. Anything that you lodge on the day will show on there, and you want to click on that. Sometimes you need to, once after you've done the lodgement, you want to send a copy to your client for reference, and also send if you've got CLM, you want to send a tax invoice along with it. That's basically where you go to send them a copy, and then along with other documents that you want to send. For those that got CLM, GovReport has integrated with, that has now given you the bit of a dash on the dashboard, the jobs, the outstanding jobs, the overdue jobs, and the upcoming jobs, basically on directly from your dashboard. So if you are the principal agent and you have several staff working for you and all their work are coming up, you would see it right here, and who has started the job or the work in progress. That's just basically an overview. And of course, if you got news, and updates. And now these news sections and the updates, we have not make it live yet. So at the moment, my apologies, it just got old information, but soon that will be, basically giving you the news and the updates on GovReport. Each time that we release new features and new services and tips and traps and so tips and traps and things like that, basically will be updated there, updated on the news sections or the update sections or the news sections. And of course, you can also get access to the ATO news and ICD news and other association news as well as we progressively make this live. Now, I need to also indicate that currently these versions of GovReports is only about 70% completed. We have a lot more features are coming along the way, but we work with what we have right now. And of course, you can, like I said, where you can customize your dashboard. This is where you click the customize. So if you don't, now I have removed the lodgement graph. You didn't see the lodgement graph, I think I removed it earlier today. But if I don't want the news because it's giving me no updates anyway, so I'll remove that, remove my user profile because I really don't want to have it there. I can change that and then move things around however I want I want my dashboard to look. So now that's basically my dashboard. I can move things around, and adjust to how I want it. Of course, when we release new other features like the client updates and the integrated runner account balance, you would have more. And of course, when we have other services that will be added gradually, you can go in there and select select what you want to see on your screen or on your dashboard. For now, that's basically what we have. So I want with the user, I'll put that back. So that's okay. With the profile, with the profile that we had earlier, you can put your picture onto it, or you can put your logo. It's basically, it's nice to basically, so when someone walks to your computer, they know that they are getting access to your work, and that's not, privacy, and they should not be doing that or something along that line. Sometimes you walk away from your computer. So when that shouldn't happen. But so that's basically the dashboard. Now I'll go into the settings, and then I'll go through the lodgement process. I've got a question from Jillian. Just give me one moment to read the chat. What is the difference between outstanding reports and due dates? Okay, the outstanding reports will list out the all your clients' activity statements that you have not lodged, or anything that basically we get these information directly from the ATO for your particular clients. Whereas the due date, it is just the general due date, reminding you, for example, the general IS BAS or BAS due dates upcoming. It doesn't give you basically your specific clients work that you have not done or have not started. With outstanding reports, it will give your specific clients that you have set, and whether it's activity statements, and soon it's going to be PAYG and also other reports as well. So I think at the moment we have removed the other ones because ATO is still changing some of the information, but that will be set. Those settings will be available shortly. Activity statements are all listed there. So if activity statements one of your main service, then outstanding report is probably be recommended. I hope I answered the question. So, okay, Gillian, what I'll do, if your due dates are not working, it should work. That's basically a general one for everyone. But I said because my one is a testing account, so it doesn't have we don't have that. But if your one is not working, something is not right. There is no setting required for due dates. There is no setting. So if it's not working, then let us know. Something as either just check if the browser you're using is showing. Sometimes IE so let me follow up with me afterward. It should not work because there's no setting required for due dates because it's a general one for everyone. Our same report is different. You do need to do some settings, and I'll walk through that very short later on after we have done the round of the settings and some lodgements. So now what I'll do is I'll do the settings. I'll go into the settings now. Like I said, we give you, in the new versions, we give you more flexibility, more control of your account. The new versions, we give you more control, more flexibility to manage your own account and having a lot to do. Basically you can do a lot more things with your, basically a lot more control. So if you click on settings, any of the settings in there will take you to all the settings that you can do for GovReports. This is the screen that you would see if initially if you are a new user, you just register with GovReports. This is the page you would go in, and you can go through each one by one and do the settings for each one of them. Otherwise, you can go on to that specific settings that we have listed there, and it would just basically the same process. So for business, if you have been using GovReports, if you have been using GovReports for lodgement in the past, then the business setting and profile settings possibly won't be required unless you have changed your business details like the ABN or the business name, or a change of contact details on those. You can go in and change. So I'll click onto one of them anyway. So once I click on my business settings, like I said, unless you change the ABN, you change your trading name or your organization name, then you can go in and make the change. And of course, the contact details on there. If you want to change that, just remember, click on Edit My Business, or Edit, which is now here on the top right corner. Once you click on Edit, you can go to each of the fields and change accordingly. Because we have the ABN lookup, so each time you change the ABN, that would basically come up with the appropriate entity, and if there has been a change, so you just need to change each of the fields where the change has been made. Of course, address, you can change that also, and bank details, or for your if later on when we have the client updates or the integrated run account balance, that will make it useful, because if you do the returns and it can be added. This will be updated directly to the ATO portal or ATO database. So that's basically the business setting. I don't want to change anything. Like I said, this is a testing account, so there's no need. With the profile settings, that's basically how we identify you. Like I said, this is how we identify you. You can change everything in the past. You could not change your username. You need to contact us here. We give you more the control back to you. You can also change your username as well. That means your email address. The only thing that you won't be able to change is the agent number. The reasons we won't allow you to change the agent number is because, look, it's people, this is to avoid people using your identity or your agent number to try to set up an account with us. So our system does not allow for duplication. So even if you have used us for people that have used us in the past and then, go on somewhere else or stop working for a little while, then they come back and they want to use GovReports again, we can take, basically, if it's the same agent number, we can basically, you can restart your, reopen your old account and use that, because it's just that, like I said, our system won't allow for duplications of the account. Secondly, because we also, when you put in your business details, we cross-check your information, the information that you enter with the ATO, with Tax Petitioner Board, and with other government agencies, ABR, to ensure, and of course the details on your OSCE, to ensure that the right person is using the information that has been entered onto our system, and the right owner as well. So here you can, with the profile settings, it's up to you. You can add your logo, you can add your image, your picture. It's up to you. It's basically to allow you to identify, for us to identify you better. You can, like I said, you can change your username. Just click on change your username or change your password, or how you want us to identify you. It's basically now it's put back onto your hands, to your control to do that. Once you make the change, you can just make sure that you save it so that it will be updated. That's basically the business and profile settings. Like I said, unless you change the details, otherwise if your account's already been active and you have been using it, there's no need for you to go in and change anything, unless like contact details and names or usernames. Okay, with user access settings, you can also do it from here. However, having said that, personally, I prefer to use it for my users from the dashboard, for my users rather than from here. Simply because it's just like on the airline, people tell you to look after yourself before you assist someone else. So that's my philosophy. But having said that, you can go in and edit their roles, their responsibilities, or the client they have access to. But I'll walk through the other process later on. Like I said, I believe that it's better workflow for me. I'll go into the email settings now. We've released this feature late last year. Now what it means is that it's previously when you sent out an email to your clients attaching a draft report or a lodgement that you have made, a lodgement receipt, a copy of the reports, you would only have one option, the default option, which is sending it from GovReports. Now you can customize all of these you can determine which, incoming emails. So for your lodgement, when you do the lodgement, you get the lodgement receipts. And if you want a copy of that, it's sent to your email. That's incoming emails. So basically, incoming emails to your mailbox. So where do you want it to come from? If you don't want to say from GovReports, then you can go in, edit email settings on the top right corner here, and you can change. Just go into the field and change to the email address that you want it to be coming from. So if it's pretty straightforward there. Outgoing email is different. Incoming emails, that's fine. It's basically sending it from there. GovReport will send it to your info at GovReports. If you set that, it will be coming from info at GovReports. Well, in my case, I'll put info at GovReports. If you want a Gmail, it's tiana@gmail.com.au, whatever. It's up to you. That's where you receive your lodgement receipts or the queue receipts when the lodgement comes through. For outgoing emails, that's when you're sending lodgement receipts or you're sending draft reports or whatever from the reports that you want to send from GovReports. You now can set it as your own email. It's depending on your requirements. You can have it Google, Gmail, or Yahoo, or others. For a lot of you, if you have your customized emails, for example, it's Jane Smith at ABC bookkeeping services or tax services. You can now set it, and just make sure that you check with your web developer or service your hosting service provider for the SMTP server details and the SMTP port details. But these details are exactly the same as you would have when you set up the your email on your phone. It's exactly the same information I require here in order for you to be able to send emails from GovReports. So what it means is, that your clients can identify you better, because if it's coming from your email, your email address, and your clients can identify you better. But it also means that you can track if it's sent from your emails, it means that you can track the sent email from GovReports as well. In the past, we had clients basically come to us and go, oh my God, their clients claim that they never got the sent email that they sent to their clients for authorizations or for whatever. And unfortunately for us to be able to go back to our system to track the email which has been sent or not, it's almost an impossible task, because we have so many emails that are coming from our system, and to go back and track that, it's just a horrendous process. So I would suggest that if you do need to go in and do the settings, at least the email setting for your accounts. Then of course you've got the signature settings as well, so you can just copy and paste whatever you have on your email. And copy and paste it here, and once you submit it, it would show you. Oops, I should go back, because otherwise I won't be able to send any emails later. Okay. Once you submit it, the email settings that you have on here, which shows you what it looks like, and also the email signature, but also these settings, the email settings, will work for all your applications that you have on GovReports, including digital signature or other services, CLM, whatever that you use. So if you change the email settings here, it will also change for those applications as well. Same thing with the login, the profile, the login details as well for business and profile settings. You can also change your password. Just make sure that you remember your old one before you change to the new one. That I always have a problem with. You can also manage your account, which your relationship with us. So basically, all your past and present subscriptions you can get access to here. Your purchases, and if you want more services, you can click on Add More, or just basically go to the shopping cart. Payment history, you can track all your payments to us, and of course you can always print or download the tax invoice that previously you have paid to us and perhaps did not get it. We normally, when you subscribe for something, we would normally send you an email with a copy of your invoice or your receipts, but you can also get access to it from here as well. Now, there is another settings that is that we haven't covered in here, is that the security settings. Now, this is because this is a testing account, so there's another option here, which is security, the two-factor authentication process. But I'll go through, what I'll do is I'll go through the OSCE settings, and then I'll go through the two-factor authentication, and then we go back to the ATO nominations before we start. So, OSCE settings, if you already have been using GovReports for lodgement, then it's basically OSCE setting is not required unless some serious reasons, or ATO might not be working with the new ATO nominations or whatever, then perhaps the OSCE we switch back to the OSCE. But at this stage won't be needed. The only reason that the OSCE is there is for those who are using GovReports for lodgement of payroll tax and or other government agencies. ATO, we've got the ATO nomination, so there's no need. But if you need to update it, update OSCE, most of you would have experience using OSCE already. Click update and basically locate the OSCE and upload it onto GovReport as you normally would. Now, for tax agents, the ELS credential is required until for individual tax return until possibly March next year. At this stage, basically, you just go into ELS credential and put in the details that you have from ATO, and just simply fill in the details. You click edit if you have made some changes, or test the ELS settings once you have entered the updated details. The two-step authentication, of course, there are other settings, but depending on your requirements, so I won't go through each one of all of them. But the two-step authentication process, I want to go through this because this is a security part where we provide it to you as an optional service. Basically, it's up to you to use it. Now, as you know, security has been a major issue. Last year, we heard a lot about people thinking, of course, it's cloud. It's not. You've got so much financial information on here, and not only your own, but also your clients as well. So currently we have two options for you to choose from. The first option is basically if you choose this option, click on I, just give you a little bit more information. If you choose these options, it's each time that you log into GovReports as you normally would, and of course the browser, your computer currently save all the username and password. So each time you enter, just like me earlier, I don't need to remember my password to log in. But unfortunately, that also creates security issues because sometimes you put it on your laptop and you walk away, and then and online breach, online hackers as well. All these things, it's basically it is a risk. Now, so it's up to you. This option basically, if you select this option, each time you log in to GovReport as you normally would, it would ask you. It would send you an email. It would send you an email to the username, to the email that you have used, that you have nominated as a username, with the one-time password, and basically you need to enter that password in order to get access to the reports or financial reports or the account and be able to do things. Now, understand, for many of you who are BOUS agents and working on client side, you don't normally, for some of you, access to a personal email is not possible. So that option might not be a good option. We will be adding more security options for you to choose from. Another option is basically this, or you can choose the second option, which is basically security questions. You choose that. You then need to select the questions, the security question that you want to use as part of the security barrier, and the answer that you nominate. Once you save it, once you submit it, each time you log in, and that's basically to access financial reports, any reports that you have lodged or draft or whatever. Then each time you log in and you want to get access to reports, you need to answer the security question that you nominated. As I said, The first option, I don't believe that's good for some people, but we will be adding more security options along the way, and we will update you with it. And you as the user and account holder, it's up to you to decide which option is more suitable for you to use. But of course, you can choose both of them as well. It's up to you. It is inconvenient, but you know what? It gives you more security. Mind you, because the way we set it up so that the browser will not be able to save your reports, and also to minimize the opportunity for online hackers to be able to access, or to know your system, your passwords. So that's basically the two-step authentication. We possibly just call it authentication because it's more than 2 steps. It's more than 2 factors authentication. So, like I said, we will add more services. Let us know if you, like I said, we will add more services, and you will have options to choose, more options to choose. So that's basically the authentication. Now I want to go through the ATO nominations. Like I said, going forward, OSCE is no longer required on GovReports. The only thing that you would need is the ATO nominations. We have this option since October last year, but we have not sent out emails to advise you to change, simply because it's early days. ATO is still having some inconsistent, they had some earlier inconsistent issues that we have experienced, and so we decided to to ensure that when the system is running smoothly from ATO, then we will advise you accordingly. Having said that, recently it has been quite stable. We possibly send out an email to you shortly in a couple of weeks advising you to go into the ATO nomination. But if you want to do it now, it's pretty straightforward. Once you go in, just click where software ID. Now I have done the ATO nomination on this account already. So normally, if I haven't done it, where the software ID, you would have the options to generate, to click on generate. Once you click on the generate, it will give you a number. Everyone's number will be different, and each time that you use it, it will be different. So if I unclick that, just click F5. Let me see. Oh. Okay, it's already been activated, so I won't be able to do it again. But if I haven't done the ATO nominations, I will be able to click to generate software ID. Once you've done the software ID, copy that number, and then you need to contact the ATO. Whether you can either do the telephone, call them, or go through the ATO portal and log into Access Manager to do the ATO nominations. With the telephone, I did try to contact the ATO early last year to see, how efficient is the process, and I can tell you I was not impressed. It took me 45 minutes waiting on the phone to get through to the ATO. So I would suggest that for those that have access to the ATO portal, select that option. You can click here, and that will basically take you to a step-by-step guide how to do the ATO nomination process. But otherwise I'll walk you through right now. But like I said, you can read through that if you're unsure. It's pretty straightforward step. I think it's just a little bit. There's more than one step, so you need to basically find you can refer to that and help you through. But in other words, from a general point of view, like I said, I'll walk you through right now. Once you got access, once you log into the ATO portal, log in again to Access Manager. Okay. Click on My Nominate Software Providers, click Next, and then nominate confirm that you want to nominate a provider. Select GovReports, or type out the name GovReports or the software that you want to use, and the software number that you have generated from GovReports, the software ID. So once you put that in, click Next and confirm, and that's the ATO nomination process is done. Then you need to go back to GovReports, click Activate Nominations, submit, and ATO nomination process is now activated. So you will no longer, from there onward, you no longer need the off key for ATO lodgement. So that's pretty straightforward. I hope that if you have any issues, just contact us. But otherwise, like I said, the help guide is there for you to click on if you need to. Okay, so that's basically the settings. Once you've done that, we can go back to home. Now, currently, because we're still implementing a lot of changes into GovReports, so my apology, each time you click on some service, it's open up some windows. Just bear with us, but soon that will be consolidated and you will have a lot cleaner process. So now basically what I'll do is that's basically the general settings and the general outlook of GovReports. In terms of my clients, the left-hand menu, once you click on My Clients, it will list out all your clients. You can set the screen that you're looking at, whether you want to see 10 clients at a time or 100 clients at a time or whatever. We have 4 options there, 10, 25, 50 or 100. It's up to you. You like to have all your clients listed and then you scroll it down, or 10 by 10, basically search. But the search option is there so that you basically can pull up any clients that you want to work on directly without having to go through the search or the scrolling down of the screen. You want to add new clients, there's a plus new, which is allowing you to do one by one or import the client list from the ATO portal or from the software. If you choose the import client list, this is a testing account for tax agents, so there is a lot more options. You can upload the client list from ATO that you download from the ATO portal, or you can download the list from your software and be able to upload onto GovReports directly. We accept the CSV file format, I think, for most of the ATO portal, but otherwise there is a help guide there for those of you that want to export the file and where to export it from and how to export them. So that's basically that. This is the help guide is for the tax for the ATO portal. So if there's any questions on that, just let us know. But it's pretty straightforward in showing you how to do that. That's basically My Clients. You can, like I said, you can import the client list directly from other software or other templates that you want to bring in. Simply just go into that. Now, My Users, you can add the new one by one. We don't allow for import a new list of all the users in one go. So you need to add one by one. The important thing is we need the name and the email address, and you need to allocate the role of you need to allocate the user license to that new staff that you're adding on. Once you add a new client, once you add the contact details, the email address and the name of the new user, just save it, and that will take you back to the My User list. And from there, you can click on the client, the user that you want to manage their access or their account. Then you go to Actions. If the user is no longer working for you, you can inactivate the account. Should not delete. If they have done any lodgement, the delete option would not be an option, would not be a good thing, or would not be possible, simply because the lodgement cannot be deleted. Lodgement needs to be there for at least 5 years as part of the compliance ATO compliance requirements. So you can inactivate the account and take away the user license, or and from here you can also set the password, reset the password if they forgot their password, and of course user permissions is basically. Oops, I didn't close that. User permissions, you can basically allocate the clients, the role, which forms you want them to work on, and whether they can lodge as well, whether they can add the clients and can lodge for that particular client as client. If you give them the administrator privilege, that means they can do whatever you do besides purchasing they can do everything in terms of forms, prepare and lodge, and access to all the clients. That's what the administrator privilege. So they can do everything else except for the original settings of the original the account holder. So that's basically user permissions. And for those of you that have My Lodgement, the only different thing that we have for My Lodgement here is the outstanding reports settings. If you've got outstanding reports, click on outstanding reports, and occasionally our system might not synchronize with the ATO and or up to date. You want the system to be updated. Click on Update List, and that will give you that will synchronize with the ATO and getting you an updated list of all all your clients' upcoming or outstanding reports. If you the blanket settings can be done from here. Just go to the action icon, which is the 3 horizontal bar. Click on client configurations, and that will enable you to just simply set the outstanding reports that you want to receive for those clients that you will set the outstanding reports that you want to have for those clients that you want to work on. Of course, in the past we switch it on automatically once you subscribe for our outstanding reports. Unfortunately, for a lot of people, the services, they might be a BAS agent, but they do not provide BAS preparations for some clients, and that's become an issue for us. So it's basically, once you pick them, it's basically synchronized. Oh, it's synchronized. Okay. So once you tick that, it's automatically updated for you. Like I said, it is intuitive. As soon as you tick something, it does it automatically. Otherwise, the other option is if you want to do it individually on the client, you can also do the outstanding report for individual clients per client as you go. So just go to the clients that you want to work on, click on the Action tab, and click on outstanding reports, and you'll be able to go in and do that individually for each of the clients as well. So that's depending on so it's up to you, depending on how you want to work. Now, for now, what I'll do is I'll do a quick test or a quick lodgement to show you how to get access to the forms. So if you want to work on a particular client, say for example activity statements, click on the client. You can either click on the client's name or go to Actions and select the form directly from here. So similar to the old versions, but except that in the old version it would say forms. Here you need to click on the 3 dots, which means or the under Actions, and select the form that you want to work on. Or alternatively, if you want to work on that particular client specifically, click on that client's name, and that will take you to their profile page, and the work. You can close that down. Okay. Basically this is the page about your client. So once you click on the client's name anywhere, it will take you to the client, specifically on this client's page. You've got a work in progress for this client. You've got the overview, which is basically the business details, contact details, etc. And anything you have done for this client in terms of save or draft, it will basically list everything there. And also it lists everything that you have saved or draft for this client. So in here you've got the who is preparing for it. So you've got staff member who work on your account, and you can tell who's working on it, whether it was, and basically the details of the draft. You can click onto it and go into it to edit it, or and to continue to work on it, or simply just it's up to you. I won't go into editing these reports for now, so that I want to show you where you can get access to the forms and so forth. Of course, you can also, unlike the old versions where you don't have this screen and be able to sort your clients, with this page, where you go on the client side and you can see everything about this client, all the things that you lost for this client as well, and of course, who has access to these clients, if you've got other staff working on this client, who it is, and whether this person can lodge or not as well. And of course, if you've got any jobs or invoice outstanding, it will be listed there as well. That's if you got CLM. You don't have CLM, that would not show up. Now, to do an activity statement from the client's page, click on Forms. Select the forms that you want to work on. And same process. Once you got to here, it's the same process as you would have in the older version, in the old version. Okay, so from here, just again the same thing. The date, date range. You need to confirm that. So when GovReports connects to SBR, it would list out all the activity statements that fall during that period, including the lodged reports, the lodged and unlodged reports. If ATO happens to not be online or not be available, which we have seen every now and then, you can put in, instead of putting the date range, you need to put in specific BAS period or IS period and do it offline. If you select to do it offline, once the ATO go back online, you need to go to Save Reports, get pre-filling from ATO, edit the reports if you need to, and then lodgement from there or whatever, validate from there. But for now, what we're going to do is we're going to try to do a live one so that I can walk you through the digital signature, the signing process, or the emailing process. As I said, once you confirm the date range, it will list out all the activity statements, all the reports that fall into that period, including the lodge one. The lodge one which shows that it's been processed, and if you want to work on, you want to revise that report or that activity statement, you can click on it and select it. Or in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to choose this one. Go in and edit it accordingly. Okay. For this demo, I'm going to do a manual one because I don't have a BAS link file or a live account to go into the online software. So I'll do a manual one. Notice you get pre-filling from the ATO. The ABN is coming from GovReports system, but the document ID, statement form due date, and of course the PAYG installment amount. That I won't do much to it, just so that I'll just show you how the system works. And make sure, of course, the date that you sign, that you prepare this, which is today's date. Next, you can save and resume this at any time without having to complete it. You can come back to it at another stage. The save and draft options, basically, it's just simply a draft. It means that the report might be incomplete. You can save it and come back to it later. Pre-lodge means that you just validate with SBR. The form will not be saved, so just be careful. If you click pre-lodge, it just means that you're testing the system. Save and validate. Save means that you save it and validate with the ATO through SBR to make sure that everything is correct. The information that ATO, the pre-filling from ATO and that the ATO has on this account or this ABN or this business has been validated with ATO. Save and validate and send for signature. That options. You can save, validate, and send for signature. If you've got digital signature, you can do that from here. I prefer that it's being saved and validate, and then you go to the Save Reports and then send for signature from there. Simply because sometimes there might be errors that you need to fix and so forth, and the system cannot isolate that. It's up to you. If you want to use that, it's fine. But for me, I'll go through the save and validate, and then we'll send from signature. We send for signature from Save Reports. If you've got email settings earlier, the incoming email, if you click here, no, this is a save validate, so it won't do. But if you click lodge, you would have the options to send a receipt, lodgement receipt to yourself after it has been lodged successfully. And that, if you got incoming email settings earlier, it will be sent from that email to you. Now let's not do this and lodge. Instead, I'll do the save and validate. And once it's been saved and validated successfully, it will take you to the Save Reports. You notice that the Q date or the date that it has been saved is the 20th. Today I've done an earlier one, so yep, you would notice that it's the Q date and who it has been done by, and also the status. It's valid. So if you want to lodge selected, if you know that you got the authorization from your clients already to lodge, you can click the lodge selected. Lodge selected. Notice that once you click on it, the options come up. Lodge selected, or you can delete the selected. For now, what I'm going to do, that if you, instead of clicking, selecting it, ticking on it, you can click on the report, and that will open up give you the options to print out, or to give you the printed versions or the downloaded versions. If you click on print, that will give you the printed version or the downloaded version. You can save it and then send it to your clients for authorization. But otherwise, you can email it from GovReports directly. And like I said, if you've got email settings done properly earlier, that will be sent in from there. Having said that, because I'm sending it to myself, but if I'm sending it to my clients, info at GovReports too, yep. You can send it to someone else, and you can put in the email, the address, the email address onto it. I won't do that for now. Instead, I'll do the digital signature. For those that got the digital signature, this is how you integrate. If you want to go in and edit it, if you need to change anything, you click on edit. But otherwise, click here for to send for signature. Under action, you got the generate invoice. That's because it's integrated with CLM. So for those of you that got CLM access, the option is there as well. Once you click send for signature, that will connect to you to the digital signature page. As I said, my internet is very unstable from here. I'll go back to it. So it has been sent. It has not been sent. I don't think it has. Okay, it hasn't. Now, if you send for signature, once it has been sent for signature, and waiting for signature, you won't be able to send for signature again until you void it or you delete the previous send for signature, because our system does not allow for duplications of one report being sent twice. It's just basically to make the process a lot cleaner. Once you click send for signature, that will direct you to GovReports digital authentication. Notice you've got the activity statements there. For those of you that have, that wants to upload the authorization letter or the letter to your client, you can upload it from here. At the moment, we only accept PDF files. So if you got the letter already drafted, and make sure that it's being saved in PDF, and then you can upload onto GovReports. You can upload as many files as you want. In terms of the GovReports generate documents, only one report at a time. So that's because it's basically easier process for us, for our system, to track which reports from GovReports has been sent for signature instead of multiple ones, because it's just messy. But in terms of other non-GovReports documents, you can attach as many documents as you want. So I've uploaded a sample agreement there. Like I said, upload as much documents as you want, and you can also send to multiple signees or multiple clients that you want to sign as well. Or you can. It might be in the case that you want the clients want the accountant, or want someone else, a family member or someone, or financial controller or whatever, to view the document. You can also add them on. You can add them on as a viewer only, or as a signee also. So if I decided to send one to myself, I did. Okay, add someone else. Okay. And if I want these persons to only, to not sign, but instead for review only, for viewing only, then I can do so. I can also send a private message in here. So because sometimes different people that you send to have different roles, and or basically you give instructions or whatever, you can send a private message from there. If you don't want a private message, that's fine. Just leave it as it is. or you want to remove, once you enter the details, you realize, oh, it's incorrectly done, you can remove it from here. You can save this as a draft and come back to it later as well, or otherwise just proceed. There is advanced settings that we've recently added in, and that will basically enable you to set a reminder on expiration date, because the fact that we deal with ATO, there is lodgement due dates for each and every one of the reports that you sent out. So if you set the due date is in, due date is in 10 days, or 2 days, or 3 days, or 5 days, whatever, or let me just do it 10 days, and how many, you basically can set it when do you want the reminder to be sent out, and how many times, like how often you want it to be repeated, and of course the notification when the expiry dates, come through. So basically you can save all of these. You can basically set all of these and make it easier for you, so that you don't have to remind your clients, and that basically keep track of all. It also keep you reminded you that when it has been sent as well from the dashboard. So I'll walk through. I won't go through that in details, possibly in the digital signature sessions, but basically generally just this is where you set. Once you've done the settings, I haven't done the settings. Notice I didn't put in the dates because I don't want to be reminded on my emails. So if you change your mind, you want to discard it, that will go back onto your valid reports as invalid, and the status will remain the same. But if you could proceed to next and send it to your clients for signature. Now notice, remember, I've added myself earlier as a viewer only. So I want that my signature won't be required. I just go to the next person, which I put down as my client. I then mark the signature where I want the signature to be. Just put the mouse where you want your client to sign. I'll put in the wrong place, but don't laugh. Yep, if you're not happy with that, you can remove the signature. So putting where's the signature decorations. That I'll put there. It's very small, tiny. Okay, if you want a signature there, just, that's done. That's the first document. And then, of course, the agreement. This is the PDF file that I uploaded earlier. I can mark this where I want the signatures to be as well. So just assuming I want it there, I won't go through it. Just like I said, just to show you the indication of how this is, what this is done. Once you're happy with it, click send for signature. Your clients, when they receive this email or for digital signature, when they receive it, which I can get access to it actually, this has been sent to me. Here you go. Once they receive it, this is what they will see. If they want to click on view document, there is help guide. There is basically instruction how they can sign the document. Once they click on view document, GovReports Digital Authentication automatically send them an email with the one-time password. They need to go back into their email and get that number. Before This is to ensure that the right person is opening the email. Sometimes, people forward the email to someone else. Unfortunately, they won't be able to see the document. So once they log in, they would be, whether they want to upload this, they need to set their signature. They can upload the signature, sign it on a piece of paper, take a snapshot or scan it, or draw the signature using the mouse, or type the signature, type in their name. Okay. Type their name and save that as a signature. So once they've done that, they can then go to view it. They can view the documents. They can view the documents and assign all. once they sign it, they paste their signature, they can then click finish, and that, or they can decline it before I click finish, or they can decline look, if they're not happy with the bath that you prepare, they can decline it as well. It will be uploaded. Once they click, whether they click finish or decline, it basically means it's after they've done that, they can no longer access to the reports because, and of course, if you're the sender, you will be not, you will be notified that the client has declined, and any message they want to add as well. So if they want to add the same comment, yep, when are you lodging, etc., you can send the message back to your client can send a message back to you as well. So once it has been processed, the status will be different. So just give me one moment while refreshing the page. So on digital authentications, it will soon, once that's coming through, this is for the ones who don't know. Once that has been received, the information will be then updated, indicating that it has been signed. So now from there, you basically can go back to GovReports. It's not been updated. Okay. I'll just click F5 to refresh the page. Notice that it's valid processing. That means it's still waiting for signature. The client's signature that has been sent, it has not been updated. But if it has been updated, it would say valid and signed. So similar to if you go into Save Reports from here. You notice if it has been signed, it would say, of course, valid processing. I haven't got anything that has been signed, valid and signed. So if it has been signed and it has been received successfully, it would say that it's been signed. So then you can't, of course, once it's been signed, the client will get a copy, and you will get a copy as well. So you can go in. You can view the document, you can print the document in PDF because there was 2 documents being sent out. So you can combine that as one document as in PDF or have it as a separate PDF. So that's basically the general on digital signature. And then, and of course, from there you can click lodge. Once it's been signed, you can then lodge to ATO. Okay, so that's basically the general view of digital signature. Any questions? I think that concludes my what I want to show you through today. Yep. So questions? Okay. It doesn't look like I have a question. If you think, if along the way log into GovReports and start playing around with it, you come up with any questions, you can always send us an email or give us a call. If I haven't covered everything today, so send me an email, and I'll attend to that. For those that want to know more about digital signature, like I said, I will go into details for the digital signature sessions rather than what I have just shown. There's a lot more to it. Of course, there's a lot more that the tips and tricks that you on digital signature, and of course on CLM features and how it's working with GovReports. CLM at the moment is partial services are available in GovReports directly, but gradually, hopefully, before later on, progressively we will add more of those CLM services directly into GovReports. So that basically gives you a more seamless and experience in using GovReports enlargement and reporting. Thank you. Oh, the other thing is, if you do need to get access to digital signature, click on apps and click on digital authentication, and that would take you back to digital authentication dashboard. Sorry, my apology. I did not show you that. I only showed you a GovReports reporting process with digital signature. But if you want to use it for just non-GovReports documents, click on digital signature, and that will take you onto the digital signature page. and then you can click on New, and then you can upload the report, the agreement or the documents that you want to send out for signature. That's if it's not working. That's if you want to send a non-GovReports document, non-GovReports generated document. Thank you, guys. Any other questions? Let me know.